Good afternoon, Hatters. We are here at City Walk, Hollywood, California, for Universal Hollywood. Now, you've seen Universal, Orlando's City Walk, but look at this. This is their Antojitos. They have Johnny Rockets here. That's their NBC and Grill. We have a bigger Antojitos and Grill and a bigger Bubba Gumps. Wow. They really are not as big. And this is where the Hello Kitty bar is going to be. Now at our City Walk, we're getting the Harry Potter bar. Supposedly, rumor, at Orlando, we're getting a Harry Potter bar.
A butterbeer bar, right?
Yes, but it will have alcohol.
Okay. Alcoholic butterbeer?
Yes. This is their Universal store. So theirs is more Hollywood up, kind of.
And just a long, narrow alley.
Yeah, well, there's more stuff down there. They also have a Dodgers store here. It was right behind us. And their security is outside, where we're thinking this is what Epic Universe is going to look like. This is going to be the security for Epic Universe. And that is our original.
Yep, that was in Orlando in 91?
91.
Yep. North Orlando.
So before we go into this whole Fast and the Furious wonderful looking roller coaster soon coming to Hollywood, which is going to be awesome. The guest services here are awesome. They were so nice. Everything was so much better. How we have long lines. They were so quick. Look, it's the world famous Megatron.
I'll meet you inside. Bring the lasers. It's time to start melting. Melting down Autobots. Aid. You in the middle, clearly. These men wouldn't survive without you. Take them inside, I'll break their bones. We build you a better one. The price will be your life.
Boy, ain't she a beaut?
Triceratops. Or is this Stegosaurus?
Oh my gosh, it's huge!
I think it's Triceratops.
Alrighty guys, how's everyone doing today? Are we good? Good. This is Juliet. My name is Josh. I'm Juliet's trainer. Before we get this going, guys, I want to have a little pop quiz and see where everyone's at dinosaur knowledge-wise. It'll help me out, okay? So first question, anybody know what kind of dinosaur Juliet is? Triceratops, yeah, that was easy, yeah. She's a Triceratops, yeah, it's a tricky one. Does anyone know why she's called a Triceratops? Bless you. Three horns? Three horns, do we agree? 3 horns, yeah? Easy, 3 horns, yeah. So, those 3 horns, guys, are why Juliet's called a Triceratops. More importantly, why we're giving her a little bit of space right now, okay? Believe it or not, guys, Juliet's still pretty young. If we have a guess, how old do we think Juliet is? How old do you think she is?
1.
With 1? What do you think?
How old is she, Devin?
3? What do you think?
2?
6? You said 2. Yeah, she's 2 years old. Yeah, Juliet is only 2 years old. And at 2 years old, guys, Juliet's only a third of the way grown. She's fully grown. She's as big as us, okay? So she's still getting used to those horns, and more importantly, she's still getting used to people. So we're just going to give her a little bit of room while we do some training up here. Thank you, Juliet. Good job, girl. So, we're going to do a little communicating next, okay? So with those horns up, guys. Horns up, please. Horns up. Spread your feet out just a little bit. Spread your feet up. You're going to bring 1 foot forward like this and drag it back. Do that a few times, okay? Show Juliet. What do you see, girl? What do you think? Okay, yeah. She might need a couple reps, guys. Don't step too close. Those horns are right there. Yeah. What do you see, Juliet? You can do it. Very good. Round of applause for Juliet, guys. Good job, girl. So, that's what we call empathetic.
All right, so here's a wonderful sight line of the studios. It's a scenic view, and they actually point out what they are, which is one is Studios, where we're going right now. Got the King Kong, where also we're going right now. Warner Brothers Studios, which is right there in the distance. And then you got the Disney one right in between this building. Yeah, that building and that building. So it's right in there.
Right behind Warner Brothers to the left a little bit.
Yeah. Does this still need coins for real? My God, they still need quarters? Yeah, you do. Wow. Oh my God. That's some old-fashioned thing. With quarters. All right, let's go to the studio tour.
Now to help us kick it off, I got a few people to introduce. One, if you can tell, I'm not driving the tram. I'm not that skilled. But that is going to be up to our driver, Anthony. Everyone say hi, Anthony. That's right, Anthony will get us around the lot today at a fast and furious 5 to 10 miles per hour, depending on what we encounter back there on the lot. And I'm going to have some help of my own, too. I'm going to introduce now my co-host, our Master of Ceremonies. He is the host of The Tonight Show. Please say hello to Mr. Jimmy Fallon.
Hi, I'm Jimmy Fallon. Welcome aboard the world-famous studio tour. I know what you're thinking. Why the tux? Well, we're celebrating our 60th anniversary. That's right, 60 years of glitz, glamour, and our own great white shark. As we celebrate our diamond anniversary today, we'll pay tribute to Universal's past and take you behind the scenes to discover why this studio tour is world famous. So whether this is your first visit or your 60th, get ready for fun, excitement, and an experience like no other.
That's right, thank you, Jimmy. So to get down there on the lot, guys, we are about to go down this big hill coming up called the Universal Timeline. You're going to see all these movie posters on the right and left from our very at that time. You could come and walk around from set to set and see them film movies right here on the lot. But when the silent film era ended, relatively soon after that, it wasn't until the 60s, under the leadership of company chairman Lou Wasserman, that we revived the idea of a tour when the Gray Line buses in Hollywood started to make stops here. And then it was on July 15th, 1964, we opened with the first of our red and white candy-striped glamour trams there that would take passengers on a 2-hour driving tour of the lot. Now we started out with only 2 guides, 2 drivers, 1 ticket seller who worked out of a trailer on Lancashire Boulevard. But we expanded. We added all kinds of cool things. The burning house right there on screen and our rock slide. Both of these things you see there happen to some of our most iconic sets. Everything on screen and more done right there to your left. Built in 1928. Again, it's our oldest sound stage, our largest at about 30,000 square feet. We've got a bunch more coming up on our left as we hit the front lot, stages 7 through 11. We had shows like Superstore on NBC, Hollywood Game Night, HBO Max's Hacks, starring Gene Smart, who has won several Emmys for that show. We've got Ted has filmed here recently, one of our newer Peacock shows, our streaming service Peacock, which is also home to Bel Air, another show that films down here in stages 7 and 8 coming up. We'll see in a second. They are actually about to premiere their next season soon. And so to tell you a little more about the front lot as we head into it, we've got the 2 stars of Bel Air here, Jabari Banks and Ali Shalaton.
We're leaving the theme park behind and entering the front lot where real Hollywood magic is made. How? Well, inside the sound stages that surrounds us, we can create any kind of environment the script demands.
For the past 60 years, studio tour visitors have driven right by these buildings, and inside these walls, the sets from your favorite TV shows and movies have transported audiences anywhere the imagination could take you, even to a palatial mansion in Bel Air.
When we film Bel Air, we love coming out of the sound stages and seeing the trams filled with excited guests as they drive by.
So, keep an eye out.
You never know who
or what
you'll see on the studio tour.
That was home to Oppenheimer, our now 7-time Oscar-winning film, including Best Picture, our 11th Best Picture winner. They did all their Oval Office scenes right here in Stage 19. They used the same Oval Office set from the TV show Veep with Julia Louis-Dreyfus. But right past 19, we're going to kind of downsize actually for a second from the sound stages to our famous bungalows. Now coming up on the left, we've got these bungalows, which once were home to stars back in the day, like Marlon Brando, Jimmy Stewart, Doris Day. They would use the bungalows here as dressing rooms while they were here filming on the lot. There's Ted welcoming us to the bungalows. He's also celebrating our 60th anniversary. But you'll see today that these are home to some of the biggest production companies in the business, where they have offices. You'll see working title films right there. Illumination, you might have seen the Minions back there. Illumination is the team that brought you the Minions. Despicable Me 4 is in theaters right now. They have a parking spot behind you over there. You'd have to turn around to see it, but you'll see the signs. They'll say some of the names for the companies. Kevin Williamson, his office. Right here, he's the writer of Scream. Created shows like Dawson's Creek and The Vampire Diaries. Coming up in the back here, we've got Mark Platt Productions, a team working on Wicked, coming out later this year. With Ariana Grande and Cynthia Erivo. You'll see the big Wicked balloon thing back there where their office is. And then just past them, coming up here, Bungalow 5195. The front door there with that silhouette on the wall, that is Alfred Hitchcock's silhouette, because that was his office back in the day when he worked on the lot. It's now home to the De Laurentiis Company, and I could go on and on. I'm talking about all the big names working out of those bungalows right now, but right past them, guys, we're coming up to some of our newest sound stages. We got 25 and 26. 25 is currently home to Lopez versus Lopez. That stars George Lopez. They have a new season about to air as well. And then stage 26 is home to a brand new show filming called St. Denis Medical. It's a sitcom that's going to air premiere on NBC this fall. They have a set on the backlot you're going to see as well. As opposed to the sound stages, I know you can't see the sets in them. But that's not going to be a problem too much longer, guys, as we transition to the backlot. Classic New York style brownstone apartments. Featured in everything on the screen. I like to throw in Home Alone 2, Lost in New York, not in that clip, but a personal fave. Behind you, you'll see one of the sets for St. Denis Medical I mentioned. That's the exterior of the hospital where the show takes place. But right past Brownstone, guys, we're about to come up now to one of the most recognizable parts of the Metro sets.
Welcome to the Courthouse Square. These sets were used to create Hill Valley in the Back to the Future films.
And they represented multiple time periods: 1985, 1955, and the far, far distant future, 2015. To this day, this is one of the most popular sets on the Universal Studio Tour.
We had a lot of fun making those films here on the lot. I wonder what it'd be like to go back to those days. If only we had a time machine.
Hey, everybody, do you think we can get this tram up to 88 miles per hour? See you in the future.
I don't know about 88, guys, but we're going to keep heading into the future around the corner. Saying so long to the Courthouse Square, which has also been used in films like Bye Bye Birdie, To Kill a Mockingbird, Psycho 2, the pilot episode of The Twilight Zone. A lot of history there, but we're going to head back to the city here and turn down what's called New York Street now. This has been New York in countless productions, but it was also once home to a studio tour classic.
Did you know the Metro sets were once the home to Hollywood's biggest star? Right here is where the original studio tour King Kong attraction resided from 1986 until 2008. He stood 30 feet tall and weighed in at 13,000 pounds. Over the years, millions of guests got to meet King Kong face to face as he shook the tram. So close you could feel his hot banana breath.
That may not be the last we hear or see of King Kong, but right now coming down New York Street, this has been New York in The Amazing Spider-Man, Hobbs and Shaw for Fast and Furious. We turned it into Chicago for the Blues Brothers. Everything you see on the screen, a whole bunch more. A TV series like American Ninja Warrior. They build their obstacle course on New York Street every year. A new season of that's about to air also. Quantum Leap on NBC. We've had music videos for artists like Michael Jackson, Lady Gaga, U2, Taylor Swift. We've done promo for...
That just take you away from your real life and sweep you up an adventure. Kong literally does that. I mean, you're on board the ship, you're sailing to a lost island, you're encountering monsters and creatures from prehistoric times. I was thrilled when Universal invited me back to Skull Island, and it's great to have you along for the ride. Now, we have created this 3D immersive experience, so you're going to have your glasses ready. Don't put them on yet, but just have them in your hand because we're about to return to Skull Island.
That's right, guys. As we approach the gates, make sure to stay seated. Keep your arms and legs inside the tram. Hold on to all of your valuables.
So sure.
All the brick and stone there in the Metro sets. None of that's real brick or stone. It's made of mostly plaster, plywood, and plastics. The 3 Ps, as we'll say, makes it easier to adapt them from production to production. That is a part of the art direction. Something I'll bring up as we see more of these sets and talk about how we can use them for all kinds of different productions. But something we're coming up on now there to your right. We don't always get to see this on the tour. This is our monster mural, hand spray painted by artist Tristan Eaton. He spray painted this whole thing by himself. An homage to some of our classic monsters, who we will definitely talk more about in just a bit. But a few things we'll see before we get to monster territory. Coming up on our left, we've got some of the few sound stages that are on the back lot. Stages 30 through 33, where we have a lot of live audience shows like The Voice. You might recognize their logo right there on stage 30. That's where they film. They've got judges this season, which they've been in production for recently. Reba McEntire, Snoop Dogg, Michael Bublé, and Gwen Stefani. And speaking of Reba, guys, she's got a brand new show called Happy's Place, sitcom, and it is filming in stage 33 today. You can keep an eye out for some of their production. But right there in front of the stage, did you see that little body of water? That is called the Hollywood Ocean. Now, we also have a lot of film history. Let's go all the way back to 1954, when we turned the Hollywood Ocean into the Black Lagoon. Speaking of those monsters, there's one right now, the creature from the Black Lagoon. Coming up on its 70th anniversary, we are getting deeper and closer to monster territory. We're also about halfway through the tour, so a good time to remind you, if you have an emergency or need assistance, if you drop something of value or can't wait to use the restroom, reach up and pull the red E-cord that runs along the ceiling of the tram. I'll be... And we are going, my friends, just like all those angry villagers, right through the streets of Little Europe. This is essentially the birthplace of the monster movie. Films like Frankenstein, The Bride of Frankenstein, The Mummy, The Invisible Man, they all filmed right here in the streets of Little Europe. As you look around, it's much more colorful because it's not a black and white film, but it's also not just monster territory. You might recognize Little Europe also as The Good Place with Kristen Bell and Ted Danson.
You, Eleanor Shellstrop, are dead.
Cool.
This location, the afterlife, come on.
You see this shop on the corner coming up to the left? The red and blue doors and windows? That's the yogurt shop on screen, right there where this scene takes place, where we are driving right by.
Place?
Well, maybe it's not all that bad.
How can I help you?
What is the bad place like?
Well, it doesn't sound awesome.
No, it doesn't, Kristen, but what does sound awesome, guys, is the Court of Miracles. This part of Little Europe coming up on the right, where if you wanted to see a monster, guys, right there sitting on the park bench, it's the Invisible Man. Say hi, guys. It's his 90th anniversary he's celebrating. He's also looking for a ride, maybe. So cars 3 and 4, if you don't mind, he's walking up now. Just make some room and He's usually nice if you're nice to him first, but again, coming out of Little Europe, not just home of the monsters, we've also had films like Cinderella with Brandy and Whitney Houston, Princess Diaries 2, both filmed right there in the Court of Miracles. Van Helsing with Hugh Jackman, the scene where he fights Dracula's bride's all done there, but before the buildings were made of, all that kind of stuff. Look around, see if you can figure out the style or tone of this production. Maybe you can figure out the location of the scene they're filming. I feel like you can get that one for sure. And you'll notice all the lighting is set up, cameras ready to go. Stay seated, keep your arms and legs inside the tram. It is a hot set, they could start rolling. We'll just take a quick look then head out, but everything's in place as you see. The director essentially just would have to show up and then call action, and they would start rolling. But we're looking at this wait a second, guys. No, I'm not the director. I didn't mean action for real. That was an example. Cut, okay, hold on, guys. Looks like we're rolling. True, maybe I could have mentioned the production was Earthquake, the big one. Congrats, guys, you survived. It's always a little more fun when it is a surprise. A show of hands, how many of you felt the real earthquake about 45 minutes ago? Some of you did. If you didn't feel it and didn't know, there was an actual earthquake that happened about 45 minutes ago. So as you can maybe surmise, there's not a huge need for us to recreate earthquakes here in Southern California, but one thing for sure is you can go home today and tell your friends and family that you came to LA and you experienced an earthquake, real or not. But that was inspired by Earthquake, the disaster film. It came out around the end of 1974. Universal was going to follow it up with an even more terrifying film around Christmas of '74, but this one got delayed to the next summer. It became the first summer blockbuster, summer of '75. Steven Spielberg has his first big hit. If none of this is ringing a bell, look here to your right, guys. We are talking about
Jaws.
Jaws, that's right. Good news, guys. We caught the shark. So, if you're willing to plan a beach trip at some point today, MA Island could be your next stop. Wait a second, guys. I'm actually not sure the coast is clear. We've got divers right there, guys. That's George. If you can help, George, get out of the water. Oh, George, is it? Oh, okay. Poor George. It was his first day on the job. All right, guys. We're gonna just pull forward behind the dock. It should be safer there. And now more than ever, stay seated. Keep your arms and legs inside the tram. There is still a shark in the water. to our next set. Just down the hill, we'll head into what's called Old Mexico, where we might have to fight through more water elements. To tell you what I mean here is the co-host and the weather anchor of the Today Show, the one and only Al Roker.
Time for my favorite part of the tour, weather. When it comes to film and TV, it is truly a special effect. In fact, to demonstrate how weather effects are created, we debuted our first major attraction here on the studio tour way back in 1968.
That's right, guys. So right here in Old Mexico, as Al mentioned, we're going to demonstrate how to add weather elements to a set. In Old Mexico here, we're going to use practical effects. They're happening in real life on the set. Strobe lights and speakers to add in thunder and lightning. Change up the vibe here. And now let's say we wanted to add in some rain. What we'll do essentially is raise a sprinkler system high above the set, and from there it's pretty simple. You flip the on switch, and there you go. Movie making magic. If you've got a sprinkler at home, you got a movie waiting to be made. Now, rain by itself, though, might make a scene feel sad or romantic, but throw in all those thunderbolts and lightning. Very, very frightening. Suddenly, the tone has shifted. Things have become ominous. Maybe there's something dangerous coming just around the corner. Watch out back there, guys. Looks like we're caught in another flood. You might be in the splash zone. Right over here. Wow, it's almost like I knew that was coming. Or like Al Roker told you it was coming, as he mentioned. That was the first attraction ever added to the tour in 1968, the Flash Flood. You might have seen that in the music video for Lady Gaga's song Judas, or in the movie Big Fat Liar with Paul Giamatti.
You can't outrun a wolf, kid! Yeah, we'll see about that.
And there you have the Flash Flood, a much more enjoyed film to save you of a tram. We're going to get out of Old Mexico now, though, and cross over on to our Old West set here. 6 Points, home to some of the most classic westerns and the western stars. And John Wayne, Kirk Douglas, Jimmy Stewart, Clint Eastwood, Robert Redford, Brad Pitt, and Leonardo DiCaprio. Not as long ago, here for Quentin Tarantino's 9th feature film, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. They shot several scenes here, won a few Oscars for that film. Another great example of art direction, looking around the specific materials used to build these sets, the colors and fonts, the curtains, all again, that specific aesthetic to bring that world to life. But as practical sets like this are semi-practical. Large suburban homes here. One of them I'll show you in a more recent example. This is from our Peacock show, Ted. You'll see Ted's house on the screen right there, this big blue house coming up in real life, right here to your right.
Let the festivities begin.
How many we got?
Well, let's see, we got 20 items.
Fantastic.
Do you think we're getting too old for this?
Come on, Johnny, we're doing a public service here. If a kid leaves the house in a less than stellar Halloween costume, he's got to get the bad news before he makes a fool of himself all over town. We're Samaritans.
That's again a more recent example of Colonial on screen, but we love a good trip down memory lane. I'll show you some highlights here from Colonial throughout the years. Some of you have already probably been thinking it. Right there is one of our biggest productions we've had on Colonial ABC's The Desperate Housewives. This was Wisteria Lane for several years. It was Candy Cane Lane last Christmas for Eddie Murphy's Christmas movie, Candy Cane Lane. And if we want to jump to Halloween for all my horror fans on board, we've had a lot of horror history here as well. A Nightmare on Elm Street 6. We had an episode of Buffy the Vampire Slayer film here coming up. To our right, this pinkish purple house, the original Munsters house from the 1960s series, The Munsters. And I can switch gears one last time. Beyonce was here earlier this year filming her Verizon commercial that aired during the Super Bowl. Again, all great examples of how we can use the same sets for a variety of really different kinds of productions. But As we come out, we've got one more other nod to the suburbs and one of our most famous neighborhoods, the Lyon Estates, where Marty McFly lived. In the Back to the Future films, we've got the signs of the neighborhood here. These are replicas of the originals, made for the 30th anniversary right here in our little suburbs. Also, still on Steven Spielberg Drive. This is, again, the longest road on the lot. He was a producer on the Back to the Future films. We've got more Spielberg territory to come, so I'm going to throw it back to Steven actually now to tell you a little more about how his journey with Universal began. Keep an eye out, guys, for Norman Bates. He may not be working a shift today, but as we come up the hill, we're also passing by the house, the original Psycho house, where he lived with his loving and doting mother, who you might also see if you keep an eye out as we pass the house up there at the top windows. Take a look up there as we go by, again, the original house, not in it. Oh, hey guys, Norman is home. Right here on the porch. So as you go by, just wave and smile. Be nice. He's you know, despite what you have heard and seen, usually really a nice guy. Sorry, nice guy, Norman. Right, nice. Hi, Norman. No, nothing to see here. Oh gosh. Okay, that doesn't end well normally. So we're gonna get out of Psycho territory. Watch out back there, car 4. I just made it out alive here back into some Spielberg territory where we should be safer. More safe than the people who are on this plane. This is a real 747 airplane featured in Spielberg's 2005 sci-fi epic War of the Worlds.
The airplane crash site set is a perfect example of a set that is all designed around a vision.
He won his Oscar for his first film, Get Out, back in 2017. But as we take you into the world of Nope, to tell you a little more about it, I'll throw it over to Jordan himself.
Movie magic only happens when a team of collaborators, often in the hundreds, work together to take an impossible notion and bring it to life. This is Jupiter's Clinic, a nostalgic, small-time Southern California amusement park owned by former child star Ricky Juke Park. Over there, look into the winking well and have your picture taken just like the kids in that old 90s movie Kid Sheriff. That's what this whole place is loosely based on. Remember that one? No? Why? A little further down, you can see the brand new Star Lasso experience. Built to showcase an unbelievable new live show. It's not looking so live anymore. Anyway, behind this Hollywood fantasy of a gold rush frontier town lies a sinister secret. It is smack dab in the center of the UFO hotspot. What's a bad miracle? Welcome to the world of No.
Yeah, I don't know a whole lot about UFO hotspots, guys, but I do know that I have to get you back to the park in one piece. So we're going to get out of Jupiter's Claim here and on to our next destination just around the corner. Seated, keep your arms and legs inside the tram. Hold on to all of your valuables. Before we ramp up the speed, I'm going to throw it over to our good friends Roman Pierce and Letty. Now they're going to come and tell you guys everything you need to know about our first scenes coming up here in just a second.
6 decades, the studio tour has taken guests on an amazing behind-the-scenes look at a movie studio in a way that only Universal can. I hope that you've had a great time today, and on behalf of everyone at NBC Universal, thank you for joining us to celebrate our diamond anniversary. Here's to another 60 years.
That's right. Thank you, Jimmy. We thank each and every single one of you all for coming and spending time with us today so much here at the studio tour, seeing a little behind-the-scenes look at the oldest and largest studio lot in Los Angeles, and being here also during our 60th anniversary, which we celebrated a couple weeks ago. And again, 6 decades of giving you that insider look to Hollywood, from our first golden age of TV to the current era of streaming and binge watching. As the movies get bigger on the big screen, giving you exclusive access to ride the movies right here at Universal. No matter how much entertainment changes, we will be here at the studio tour to show you how it's done. And that is why the tour, our 60th, is so special to us, because every Universal destination and experience across the globe, they all come back to the studio tour. This is where it all began. Starting with those 2 glamour trams in the summer 64 and expanding into everything else from there. And it has taken a village. I do want to acknowledge all of the studio tour ambassadors, guides, drivers, everyone who's been a part of making the tour what it is today, and that includes our driver Anthony. Guys, let's give it up for Anthony getting us around the lot today.
It's blue! So we're back down here because we're gonna go ride Jurassic World. It is basically a refurbished version of ours at Universal. It is a 50-minute wait, but that's not for us. So we got these passes. So, but yeah, it's a refurbished version. So let's go.
Dinosaurs. A vast ocean was home to an explosion of life. At the top of the food chain sat the Mosasaurus, apex predator of the deep.
Oh no. Get wet, I see.
In a moment, you will be entering Predator Cove, home to some of Jurassic World's most powerful creatures. We show multiple containment failures.
Just blew me out of containment. As you can see, I'm doing for Predator Cove. The Predator Cove. Code red. Iron systems going down across the board.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is Predator. Please remain calm. We have assets out of containment and help is on the way. In the meantime, please,
A security team is deployed. They will get you safe.
Multiple targets. We are in full containment failure. More systems going down. Power failure.
red. We're about to go find out if the Transformers ride is the same one over at Orlando. If it isn't, we're going into the one place that we actually came here for. So, be ready.
Release me. Decepticon. Well, this is a surprise. I'm not looking for all of you. I'm looking for Optimus Prime. I want him now. I want him dead. I don't want you wretched Instagram influencers or you TikTok slime. I want the Autobots. Consider yourselves lucky. You made it this far. You got one chance left. And that's coming up here and swearing your undying loyalty to the elite. Do you know who the elite are? Do you know who the elite are? The Decepticons, the most powerful force in the galaxy. The sooner you little humans realize that, the easier your life will be. Now, next command, and see which one of these ungrateful children are willing to join me.
So the Transformers was the same exact one in Orlando, but we are actually heading in for the actual real thing we were here for, and let's just show you right now. Super Nintendo World. Here we are. I can't wait for this next year. But ours is gonna be bigger. I can't wait. I think it's time to go down the plumbing to I feel like I've entered the world of Mario 64. I think I have. Oh, I truly have. So I feel like I'm in Mario 64 right now. Look. All right. Bye. Oh, man. What an awesome world. But we have a pass for Mario Kart. So I think we're gonna go ahead on the ride. You think you're ready? One Up Factory. So it's their shop. Now we have a small version of this at City Walk in Orlando in the Epic Universe Preview Center. We have a small version of this.
A lot of the same here.
It looks like you exit the ride here too. So for me, I'm probably gonna wait until it opens up next year to get some stuff. But this is so cool. So we're gonna head into Toadstool Cafe real quick and see what the fuss is about. I am not a mushroom fan, so I'm gonna ask, but every review I've read said they do not do any modifications, but we can go see real quick. So I was told they can make modifications, so that's a good thing. For those who don't eat mushrooms or have allergies, they'll accommodate for you. Place is awesome. Hopefully it's a lot bigger, as Greg said before. We're hoping it's bigger in Orlando. It should be big because that was about like 30-40 minutes. Yeah, 30-40 minutes just to get into
order and size of it.
So yeah, it took about 30-40 minutes, but it was only like a 25-minute virtual queue. And then the whole line from start to finish to the seat was about 30-40 minutes. You don't get your food when you order. They bring it to you with these little placards, but you get your drinks beforehand. He got the
what's it called? Yellow Sunshine Squash, something like that. Yeah.
Star Squash.
Star Squash. Yeah.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah. I ended up getting the Toadstool cheesy garlic bread, the Fire Flame spaghetti, but with no mushrooms, a Princess Peach cupcake, and a fountain drink. And what did you end up getting?
I got the Mario burger and the Star Block tiramisu.
Okay, and then the drink, obviously.
Yeah.
For my team member friends who are watching, you get a 25% discount here at Hollywood Universal's Toadstool Cafe and Super Nintendo World. So you get 25% off. So I've got what? A total of $40 worth of food, and $10 came off with $2 tax back up. So not bad. Not bad at all. So I ended up getting, like I said, the Fire Flower spaghetti with no mushrooms, Princess Peach cupcake, and the Toadstool garlic knots. So this is supposed to be a little spicy, and I like a little spicy, so I'm gonna dig in now. So we're on the Express Pass lane for Mario Kart Bowser's Challenge. So we're not getting the full queue, but we can usually wait and see that. Wow, we go right up into the mouth of Bowser's Castle. So we didn't get the full queue, but we're getting half the queue. Universal Cup. Hey Mario, I challenge you to a race. Come to my castle and don't chicken out. You know, I'm gonna zoom out real quick. Is that his chair? That's his chair. That's his chair. Okay, this is a pretty awesome queue, I'm not gonna lie. I'm very excited for this ride. Kind of walked away from me.
Feeling more excited.
Here we go.
Space in front of you guys. We're gonna try to fit all of these races in here, my friends. Gonna be all the way down in the back over there. Gonna be all the way down. Let's fill in all that available space. Welcome in, my friends. Welcome in. Gonna be all the way down. Let's fill in all the available space in front of you guys, so you guys can do. I like it too. Alright, you guys know Team Mario and Team Bowser has challenged you guys to a race.
I'll take Yoshi.
Once you guys get into your guys' carts, you will pull all the way down on that lap bar and you will see some goggles right in front of you. And put your place right underneath your Mario Kart, Mario visors. Make sure that it snaps right into place right underneath the Mario visor. If you guys happen to have one of the Mario power bands with you, just tap on the center of the steering wheel and you will gain a power up. One of the ways that you guys can earn some points throughout the duration of your race is by steering. And to do so, you will steer the steering wheel in the direction presented to you on your visor. Just steer in the correct direction and you will gain 3 coins. If you steer in the opposite direction, you won't gain any coins, but you won't lose any coins either. Now another way you can earn some points is to throw some shells at the enemy, Team Bowser. To do so, throughout the duration of your race, you will collect some shells. And you will look to aim and press the red buttons on the steering wheel to fire the shells at Team Bowser and Team Bowser only.
Oh.
Just be aware of how many shells you have throughout the duration of your race. So you guys are waiting for Team Bowser and Team Bowser only. If you guys happen to hit Team Mario, you won't gain any coins, but you won't lose any coins either. So the goal for this game is to collect 100 coins throughout the duration of your race. If you guys do collect 100 coins throughout the duration of your race, you will have won the Universal Cup, and it's defeated Team Bowser.
Oh, well, this is not as special.
It's special. Cater it up by.
The exit is not as special. All right. We're gonna go back up. And then we're going to try to get in those last three things if we can. All right, time to go on The Secret Life of Pets. Oh, Haley would love this ride.
Wow! It's like a never-ending stream of puppies!
Are we sure these aren't just the same puppies from before?
No way!
I'm saying we can't tell. It's not like they have collars.
That means they don't have homes!
Okay, well, maybe Snowball can help them get adopted.
Yeah! He does this kind of thing all the time!
And it usually works out fine.
Whoa, whoa, whoa! You hear that?
Katie?
Katie!
You're in here! We're happy you're back! We missed your show so much! Please let it be you, Katie!
We didn't need any of your shoes that were not already partially eaten, so it's kind of like it didn't count, you know?
Guess it wasn't Katie.
Guess not.
Probably for the best. I mean, if she came home and saw all these puppies in her living room, she'd probably...
Adopt all of them!
Freak out.
Oh, right. She'd probably be upset. What you said.
Anyway, puppies. Snowball lives just down the hall that way. That's right. Just keep walking.
Good enough. All right. Our first lesson is nutrition. What are the 4 food groups? Yes.
Brain just tricked you. Okay, so find out you home for these the greatest plan ever made. But if you, every new plan I come up with is the new greatest plan ever created.
Snowball.
There's an adoption event happening right now at the pet store just a few blocks away. I'm going to lead all you strays through the city. But we got to hurry because adoption day is going to be over soon. Plus Molly's going to be home in like an hour. We're supposed to have a tea party. And I know what you're thinking, but there ain't nothing wrong with a grown bunny having a tea party. It's a great way to unwind after a hard day of battling the forces of evil. Okay, check it out. This is a map of the city. It's all there. That's me. That's you. That's the pet store. Oh, no, wait. That's the pet store. That's you. I think, you know, it doesn't even matter. We'll figure it out on the way. Hopefully. Now head on around the corner to the building storage area. Go! Go! Yeah! All right, now get out. Come on. You gotta leave. Move your puppy butts on up out of here. Wait, what? More dogs are walking in. Look at all of you. You in a shirt. I dig your look. Who's your group? Wow. You puppies smell like churros and popcorn. Man, you're making me hungry. Welcome to the secret...
Sit. Stay. Good dog.
Just listen to Captain Snowball and do exactly what he said. Unless he says something crazy, which he probably will. Anyways, have fun.
Snowball. Something I never thought I'd say.
Come on! Go down this front house. Don't worry. If there was danger, my buddy Sixty would warn. Check out my buddy pocket. Yeah, a flying bunny. You can go home now. You officially see it all.
This is Captain Max.
What did I tell you? The pet store. Perfect place.
What? What would you like that?
Ooh, you guys are not gonna get adopted looking like that. You gotta get you cleaned up first.
All vehicles will be using emotion moments. With the new seated arms and legs inside the building.
I look adorable.
Mom, Dad, look! What do you say? You want to come home with us? Yes! What do you say? You want to come home with us?
They never picked.
Oh, just wait till you spend the night in this thing.
You welcome, people. It's a celebration.
Yay, you did it! You found it!
Well, Hatters, my California trip is officially over. I'll be leaving Universal Hollywood now, and I will be heading back to Orlando, and I will be landing in Orlando at 7 a.m. tomorrow morning, because my flight is 11 p.m. So, for all you, thank you for joining me on this wonderful trip to California, and hopefully I'll be back in 2 years, so not too long, but yeah. So everybody have a great time, and I'll see you back in Orlando.